Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to my live stream. It's been a while since I've done this. So just give it a couple of minutes to make sure that on the technical side things are working. Yep, my connection is excellent. So there we go. Right. In this live stream, I am going to be going over again. This is the first terraforming tutorial for 2020. I'm going to be going over the basics and show and show some tips and tricks. and let's see. Yeah, let me just get adjusted here. Right. So I'm just going to jump into it. No update on my life or anything. I'm still breathing, and I've got toilet paper, so I am good to go. All right. So we are here on my homeland in Corsica, and yeah, I really need to revamp. I haven't revamped my landscaping or terraforming since I've been here, which has been wow over a year. Like, yeah, I think it's actually over 2 years. But you know, yay! So it is definitely time for a new terraforming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a minute or two just moving things, prepping the land first. And obviously, it is, I'm sure if you're watching, you might be already have stuff out on your land. And yeah, I'm telling you now, um, if you are new to terraforming, the best thing that you can do is move all your stuff. Just get it all in one go and just move all your stuff. I typically move things in the air like that. And then, I can bring the bits that I want to keep down and just delete or put back in my inventory the things that I'm not going to use. This is the easiest way for me. So just put that there, and yeah, I can just copy that, so that's not a big deal, right? Put that up. Now the ways that I'm going to show you will work on your own land or rental land on mainland or private estate. So we have the space cleared. I'm going to use this space. Okay, now most of the time, you may not be fortunate to, when you move into a parcel, you may not be fortunate to have it already flat. And a lot of people really love their flatness. Personally, I prefer a bit of hills and things and paths and trenches and and dips, and I like the natural mm, land. Um, yeah, not so keen on the flat, but there are a lot of people that really love the flat. So, so we're going to start with if you are one of these people that move into a flat terraform parcel, but you want to work with it, like create a hill or create a space for a pool or something along those lines, then you just right click on the land itself. I know I'm old school. I'm still using the pie menu, but either pie menu or you'll get a pull down menu, like a side menu. Either way, you want to select edit edit terrain. Ooh, I'm a bit nervous because it's been a while since I did a live stream. Let me just take a moment to relax and breathe. Okay. You'll get this pop-up box and you'll have all these options. Well, you want to select land, and then you want to left click and you want to select the land that you want to terraform. If you're new, you may want to do this square by square until you get the feel of how you're of until you build up that confidence in order to manipulate the land. So you'll see this yellow boundary, and what will be affected by the terraforming will be in this box. However, you have to keep in mind that when you terraform, thinking of the land like cloth on a table, and if you wrinkle the middle of the cloth, that is going to affect like the edges of the cloth, because you're going to have pieces of that tablecloth like um, come away from the edges of the table because you are holding that middle mass of the tablecloth in the middle. So it will the terraforming, it will be within the yellow box. However, do not be surprised if it also affects some areas outside of the yellow box. Personally, I always think of it as, the whole time and space continuum, because it space and time, that's fabric. But yeah, um, apparently that explanation doesn't fit everyone, so I'm using the round table with a round tablecloth on it as an example. So, okay, and I'm just going to go through and I'm going to explain and show which one of these does. Okay. So we're going to go to flatten, and yeah, it's like you look at it. Oh, well, yeah, that looks pretty much flat. Well, let's see if it will go any flatter. What happens? Now your cursor, you'll notice that it turns into a little bulldozer. Here's a tip. To help you better focus and to be more detailed in the terraforming, you see the little shovel part? Okay, just look at that little shovel part and just follow the little shovel part. Think of it as the bulldozer being a pencil, and the tip of the pencil is the shovel part on the bulldozer. Because yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to go crazy with that explanation, but yeah, so just think of the little shovel part on the bulldozer as the tip of a pencil. Okay, so, right. And you want to just use the left click button, and you just want to hit it. And you can see that it's moving just a little bit, but there's not much movability because it's about as flat as it's going to get. And so, yeah, I just alt tabbed over to live chat. And do you still have houses de-rendered? Actually, the neighbor moved. That particular neighbor moved away. So yeah, now down the street I do have a couple of things de-rendered. So right now we're gonna go move on to raise, and you can see that the arrows will change to help you know as to what radio button This is the radio button. You selected, so flatten is like an upside down T. The raise is an up arrow, obviously. The lower is going to be a down arrow. The smooth, that's going to be an I. Yeah, an I. um, and, and the roughen is going to be arrows up and down because it really roughs up your land. It goes up and down, and revert is going to be a T shape, and that will revert the land back to the original before you made any changes to it. So let's go to raise. And we have the up arrows here to help us know that the land will be going up. So you left click and you just, hit it once and you can see that it's going up. Now, obviously, the more that you hit the button, then yeah, the quicker it's going to go up. Now you can change the size and the strength of the bulldozer. This is how I normally have it set. It's not too much, it's not too little, it's perfect for me. But I will show you what happens when we up the strength. Now let's just go. We'll go halfway on the strength. Whoa, yeah, it takes less clicks to raise it. Look at that. Oh. Now, as I mentioned before, do not be surprised if what you terraform inside the yellow box will come outside of the yellow box. Again, think of the tablecloth bunched up in the middle of a table. You cannot bunch up the middle of the tablecloth without it affecting the overall tablecloth. So if you keep that in mind as you terraform, then that'll give you a better approximate idea of what will be affected to terraform and how you can adapt in order to get the overall look you want for your land. Now, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Now the size button, the size slider, sorry. The size is the area of the bulldozer arrows. So see right now I have it pretty much small. And we will just do a one click. So you can see that the intended selection is where the arrows are placed for the size. Well, where the arrows appear. So we're going to up that size to, again, midway. And you see how many arrows? It's like, oh my goodness, look at all the arrows. Look at all the arrows. So when you, on the size slider, when you make it larger, then you will get more arrows to denote the expanse, that the area of the land that will actually be terraformed has grown to be that big. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, really. So we're just going to move it down just a little bit. And yep, I still got a lot of arrows. And we'll go back inside the yellow box, and so you can see that, before how my original settings were, it just worked on that corner. But when you increase the size and when you increase the strength, then the area will be larger, as you can tell from the increased amount of helper arrows and the quickness of the strength and the decreased amount of having to hit the left click button. Okay, so And we're going to move on to the lower radio button. As you can see, the arrows are going to be pointing down. Okay, so the shovel on the bulldozer, I use that to help me focus, because if you look at the arrows themselves, it it can make it more difficult to be precise with your terraforming. That's why I like using the shovel, because it helps me be more detailed. Um, so, right, so we're going to leave the size and the strength sliders as they are, and we're going to left click. And yeah, it is faster, but oh, be careful. Just be careful. I would recommend, when you feel more comfortable with terraforming, then you can, become quicker in your terraforming by upping the size and the strength. And right, so I'm going to go back to my original settings here. Is that? Yeah, that's about right. Now we're going to go to the smooth radio button. Now, as you see so far, we have like a little hill, and it's not totally flat. You have like a dip here, and on this side, yeah, it's still flat. So the smooth, what it does, it works better on hills and ridges and um, dips, and it will lower, but it'll smooth out the bumps of a hill. It won't flatten, it'll just smooth it. But if you keep hitting the left click button, then eventually it will be almost flat. However, it won't be totally flat. So that's what happens if you would keep repeatedly hitting the smooth on a hill. Now, when you're at this point and you do want it flat to match, this side, to get rid of that slope, just follow the shovel of the bulldozer. Trust me, that slope here, I'm not left clicking, and you can see how that incline down is. Well, incline, no, incline is up. Anyway, that made no sense. But anyway, you can see like a little slope going down here. So to make it flatter, go to flatten, and then left click, and you'll see it come up. Then you can move around the little shovel of the bulldozer. Then we'll look around and slide. Oh yeah, it's coming up here. Yeah. Go to the hill, and then just keep hitting the left click. It's like, oh yeah, I'm getting there. But look, you see, it's like kind of uneven. It's like, oh no. Yeah. So, right. But oh, Lordy. So this is what I would do. So I would select land, and the highest point of the original terraforming square, and I would just concentrate on the highest part of that section, and I would go to flatten, and I would just kind of flatten it, and then I would go to lower and get it as low as the surrounding the surrounding part. This is really difficult, like explaining this. It's like, oh no, because it's second nature to me. And you'll see, oh no, we went too far. There's like a little dip. So you want, and then I would retrace. But this time I would make the area around a little bit bigger. So let's see from here. So yeah, that's just a little bit bigger. And and you want to keep that in mind when you go back to re-terraform it to, like flatten it or smooth it. You want to make um, the original size that you were working on of the yellow box a little bit bigger, because you have to think about those edges. Remember the tablecloth? You have to think about the edges. All right. Okay. So just going to choose the flatten radio button, and then I could either left click or I could hit apply. Now, it is better to hit apply in this regard because you see it does everything in the box. Whereas when you left click, it only works on where the shovel is. You see how much quicker that was when you hit apply? Now, we're going to go to the raise button, and I'm going to show you what happens when you hit the left click button. I don't know why I'm getting that. But what is going on here? I'm well within my boundary. Like, there's my fence. What is going on here? What? Just ignore that. Whatever. Okay, so, but you see, it is on when I left click, it is only affecting where the shovel is on the bulldozer. Yeah. But when you hit apply, then it expands outside of it. So let's go to flatten and hit apply. And you can see that it took down that bump, and it also flattened everything else. And look at there, it also flattened around the edges of the terraforming box. Okay, now we are going to get this part here even with this part. Right, so how I do this personally is I will select land, and I will get, like, I will include what I want, and I will include what I need to do. And then I will go to flatten and hit apply. I found that when you do that, it I'm not really technical, but I found personally that when you do that, when you get like a bit of how you want it to be to match, like to match, when you include both areas in the yellow terraform inbox, then it sort of helps it. I don't know any other way to explain that. I don't know. It just helps. It just helps. So, right now, as you can see, there is like this little hill here. So and that was originally there before, so it hasn't been affected too much. Okay, so we have some flatness here. Now we're going to go back into edit, and we're going to select land. And we have a square here. So all this here, I want to flatten it. Okay, and so I choose the flatten radio button and I hit apply. And it does it all in one go. Now, you see this little dip here? I want this up here to be as flat, as lowered as this down here, right? So what we will do what we did previously. And we will go into Edit Land, select Land, and, just get a little bit of that how you want to match up with. And we hit Apply, and that will come up. And it's like, is that really what I wanted? So then you go to Lower, and you see that it will lower all of this, and also the original intended part of which you wanted this part to look like. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah. So, but as you notice that even outside the yellow terraforming box area, the area will be affected as well. Because why? Why? Oh, wait. I hear somebody in the back. Yes, that's right. Because of the tablecloth effect. Yes, very well. You paid attention. You get a cookie. Right. Now, and you can smooth it. And you see that evenness, how it just kind of like came together with the smooth? When you hit apply, it would smooth the whole area. However, if we left click, then it would only have smoothed where the shovel, where the shovel was when you left clicked it. Ooh, this is hard work, y'all. This is hard work explaining this. But as you can see, it's like, oh, look, it's flat. It's flat. Oh. Now, in some areas on, mainland, there's going to be restrictions as to how low you can go, how high you can go, and all of that. And you will be able to know this from, I can't remember now. Well, anyway, it's a thing. And yeah. But yeah, some areas, you might want to be like, you might want to flatten, but you can't. Like, take this big hill. I mean, it's a great hill. It's a great hill. But do you see someone's already tried it to flatten it and they can't? They can't. That is as flat as that hill will get. What is the name of that? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, it's a thing. If you're curious about that, go to the Second Life community forums, ask in the Builders Brewery group, or check the Second Life Wiki. Oh, Wiki! Haha, Wiki. Because even though I'm old, I don't know everything. And if I do know something, I might have trouble remembering or explaining it, but I can tell you where to go. And that's me helping you build a better Second Life. Right, so those are the basics for now. I'm going to go ahead and put some music on, and I'm going to terraform. Now, as usual, if I do come across something that I think is cool to know or something that might be helpful for you to know, then of course I will stop the music and I'll tell you. But other than that, I hope that helps. And now you can, if you want to, you can watch me put all the things that I just showed you, that I just told you, into practice. Here we go. Ooh. It's me again. So, yeah, can you? Oh, I can't because of my overlay is showing. Well, anyway, whenever you terraform, whenever you mess with the land, whenever you terraform, that's going to intrude or mess up the pathfinding, and so you'll get that yellow triangle um, up at the top of your client, and that's to rebake. So you just hit that, and it'll rebake the land in order to make the pathfinding ability. In order to correct the pathfinding. So, let's say I just got done, terraforming, right? Oh, I don't want to show you because I'm liking what I'm doing here at the moment. Oh yeah, so selfish. Anyway, right. So, and if I continue to like work, or if I read something and the yellow uh, rebake button was on, then yeah, my avatar would be jumping all over the place and be like, what? Vehicle would be like going crazy and everything because the pathfinding is like, yeah, you messed up. You were fiddling with the land and it messed me up. And until you hit the rebake button, then my pathfinding is going to be broken. So that's what that's about. So whenever after you terraform, you just go up there and you just click hit and rebate. Alrighty, there you go. That's just a little tip. Back to music. Boo, it's me again. So, as you can see, I've used what I've shown you in the beginning. Just the basics about flattening, smoothing, raising, and what's the other one? I don't know. But so let's just have a walk around and let me go ahead and hit the rebake. Now, you may look at it and think like, oh my God, why did you get rid of the flatness? Oh, wow. Well, as I'm a builder and I love to landscape, I am going to landscape this. I have it already in my mind that I'm going to make this like a path, sort of like a connecting path from this side to that side. And you can, walk around the edges here. And I made a little dip because I'm going to put some stairs here. And that's just my temporary reminder of where my boundary line is. And then up here it's flat and you have like an overlook, and there's my house, and there's the other side of the road that I own. And yeah, I need to update that too. So that will be another stream or video. And go around. So I have some nice flat space here. And that's how high it is. And there's a little path I can make down here, this little curve down to here, and go down here, and also made a little indentation here so I can put some steps in, and can walk around. And then there's like a little slope here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But as you can see, when you add hills and holes, I don't really want to call them holes because they're not, but dips and ridges to your land, it really does give you a more natural feeling than just having like a flat space and plopping your house on it or plopping some trees on it. It's just like, yeah, there it is. There's my land with a big old flat prim on it because I couldn't terraform it. But yeah, look at that flat prim. Yeah, it doesn't even match the terrain. Even though you can find all of the mainland terrain textures in your library in your inventory. Yeah, so if you if you do need some help, well, okay, if you're unable to terraform your land, and if it's like hilly or just whatever, and it's like, oh no, and you are one of those people that just gets a big old flat prim and puts it on top so you can have your flat base without having to terraform, please make sure that the prim has the same texture as the land. That'd be great. Thank you. And the rest of mainland thanks you too. Yay! Right. Okay. So that's why I've terraformed it the way I have, because I already have my pre-plan in my mind how I'm going to landscape this. And you may have seen me like, where did I do it most often? I know I did it behind me. I did it over here too. So I'll just go ahead and do that for you to show you. So go back into edit terrain. And so I'm going to go naked. I'm going to go naked. I'm just going to go straight to choose it, a radio button. And let's go ahead and do the lower. Now notice that there is no yellow box. I am not going to select land. I just want to work on this area here. You see that you see that? I just want to work on that. So I am left clicking, and see I'm using my shovel. Remember, it's like the tip of a pencil, and I'm just using my shovel here. I mean, I've got my eyes focused on the shovel, literally focused on the shovel, because that shovel of the little bulldozer is the tip to my pencil. Yeah. Because in this situation, if you went by the directional arrows, it would be a mess. 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 Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Remember, the shovel of the bulldozer is the tip to your pencil. Focus on the little shovel of the bulldozer because it is the tip of your pencil. Right? So, and I'm just lowering this section land because I want to make this little path here a little bit deeper. Now, and it's affected, just a little bit, but that's going to happen, even when you have the yellow, when you select land and and you're working with the yellow terraform box. Right now, this is very important because I haven't selected any land. Yeah. And if you hit apply right now, then it would lower everything, all of it. It would lower all of it. All the yellow, my parcel boundaries, all of it. So it is important that if you're going to freestyle your terraforming, without a selected land and you're just going to manually do it, by hand, you left click. You left click. You only left click. If you're going to do it freestyle, you left click. Okay? That's what you do. Because if you hit apply, you're going to do everything all in one go and it's going to be in whatever radio button you select. Yeah. And also, I would highly recommend to never, ever, ever, ever choose roughen and hit apply because that's bad. That's bad. just I don't use roughen. I don't use roughen because that is like choosing an already really, really bad terraforming job. Now, it is fixable. I mean, everything in Second Life is fixable. Everything is. It really is fixable. Except for when you delete your trash. Once you delete your trash, no coming back. That is not fixable. That is the only thing in Second Life that is not fixable. If your AO gets broke, you can fix it. If a script gets borked, you can fix it. If your avatar goes all the haywire, crazy exorcist, it's fixable. If you accidentally delete your house, and as long as it's in your trash folder, it's fixable. You could restore it. You could retrieve it. You could bring it back to life. But if you not delete, but if you empty your trash folder and your house is in there, yeah, you ain't never gonna see your house again. Well, obviously, if it's copy, you will. But if it's like no copy, you ain't never gonna see the house again. So just remember that. Don't panic. If you mess something up, don't panic. If you don't know how to fix something, there's always help. There's the Builders Brewery group, which I highly recommend. There's the SL community forums, which I also highly recommend. There's help out there. Don't be afraid to ask. There's no shame in it. There's no judgment. But do not let terraforming stress you out. It's all fixable. And if you ever need any assistance or help or fix, just let me know in World and I'll be more than happy to help you. You can find the link to my shop below. And, I'm Azadora Summer. It's quite simple. But if you're one of these people that are lazy and be like, oh, I can't do it. Oh, it's so complicated. I can't do it. If you're one of these people that don't even try, then don't IM me. Really, seriously, don't IM me. If you haven't even tried, don't IM me. But if you've tried and you just can't get it, then yeah, IM me. And of course, I'll help you out for free. But my God, you're gonna learn. That's right, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn. Because all I want to do is help people build a better second life. So I'm going to end this live stream. I hope that has helped you. Contact me in World with any questions or feedback or, doesn't matter. Just remember, don't be afraid of terraforming. Everything is fixable. It's all fixable. It might be frustrating to fix. It might be annoying to fix. But everything in Second Life is fixable except for when you empty your trash folder. If you do that, there's no going back. All right. So thank you for watching, listening, pretending to listen, pretending to watch. However you did. I don't know. And as usual, I hope you learned something because all I want to do is just help you build a better second life. And I'm gone. Thank you. Bye.